A bark tore through Terminal D, not playful, but desperate, primal. A sound that froze Marcus Bradford's coffee cup halfway to his lips. Security guards converged, hands hovering on holsters, toward a wild-eyed dog circling a navy blue suitcase with obsessive fury. The animal was missing its left eye, the socket a scarred crater, but its remaining eye burned with terrible knowing. The terminal fell silent. 23 travelers watching. One abandoned suitcase, one mangy dog who wouldn't stop. Marcus stood paralyzed in his $5,000 suit. He'd spent 8 months perfecting the art of looking away from pain. But that eye, that single, desperate eye, wouldn't let him. In 47 seconds, Marcus Bradford would unzip that suitcase and discover something that would force him to choose between the ghost he'd become and the man he used to be. But first, you need to truly understand what a man loses when he loses everything. Before we continue, please leave a like and let me know which city you're watching from. Now, let's get back to the story. Marcus Bradford was 42 years old and worth $340 million, though he'd have burned every cent to reverse the last 8 months of his life. At 6'2", his athletic build had softened from endless nights of takeout in McAllen 25. Salt and pepper hair still perfectly combed a habit from his wife-framed gray eyes that once sparkled with ambition, but now sat flat as winter sky. His wedding ring hung on a chain around his neck because he couldn't bear its weight on his finger. He'd built Bradford Pharmaceuticals from nothing after his father's death, creating treatments that saved thousands. The irony wasn't lost on him. He could save strangers, but not the woman he loved. Elena Bradford died of pancreatic cancer 8 months ago at 3:47 on a Tuesday morning. She'd fought for 10 brutal months while Marcus spent $4.7 million on experimental treatments that bought nothing but 3 extra weeks of agony. She died in their bedroom, holding his hand, whispering, "Promise me you won't become a ghost." He'd broken that promise every single day since. Now he lived in an $8 million Miami penthouse overlooking Biscayne Bay. But he hadn't entered their bedroom in 8 months. The door remained locked. He slept on the living room couch, ran his company on autopilot, and attended weekly therapy where he sat in silence for 50 minutes straight before she died. Elena wrote 12 letters, one for each month after her passing. They sat in a wooden box on his mantel. He'd only opened 8, couldn't face the remaining 4. Rebecca Hayes had been Elena's hospice nurse during those final 6 weeks. 29, a single mother whose military husband died in Afghanistan. She worked double shifts at 3 facilities to support her 4-year-old daughter. Lily. Elena had loved Rebecca like a daughter, and Rebecca had sung gospel hymns to Elena every evening until the end. After the funeral, Rebecca sent Marcus 8 letters over 8 months. He never responded. Her last email, unopened on his phone, read, "Please, Mr. Bradford, I need help." Then there was David Marcus's younger brother, 38, drowning in gambling debts and addiction. Once an investment banker, now living in a roach-infested studio, David owed loan sharks $340,000, 5 days until their deadline. And finally, Rogue, a former police K-9 who lost his left eye saving a child from traffickers, then lost his handler to suicide. For 6 months, the one-eyed dog had lived at Miami International Airport, surviving on scraps and purpose, preventing crimes that no one else could see coming. 4 broken souls orbiting the same gravity well of grief and desperation. Tonight, they would collide. Marcus sat at gate D-17 at 11:47 p.m., staring at his phone screen. Another flight delay, 2 hours for maintenance. The terminal had emptied to 23 souls, most slumped in chairs, resigned to the wait. He should have been relieved. Any excuse to avoid Seattle. Avoid the emergency board meeting. Avoid more questions about why the CEO of Bradford Pharmaceuticals had stopped showing up to his own company. His thumb hovered over Rebecca Hayes' email. Subject line, "Please, Mr. Bradford, I need help." Sent 6 hours ago. He'd seen the notification, felt the familiar guilt, and done what he'd done with the previous 7, ignored it. His finger moved toward the delete button. That's when the barking started. A dog burst from the baggage area, limping on an injured paw. Airport security chased behind, radios crackling. But the animal ignored them, making a straight line toward an abandoned navy blue suitcase near the gate. The barking wasn't aggressive. It was desperate, urgent. The sound of something that knew what no one else could see. The dog clawed at the suitcase, whimpering between barks. Its missing left eye socket was a hollow scar, but its remaining eye blazed with terrible purpose. "Somebody call animal control!" a woman shouted, shielding her children. Marcus watched from his seat, every instinct screaming at him to look away. He'd perfected that skill. 8 months of practice. A TSA agent approached with a tranquilizer gun. "Everyone stay back." "Shoot it!" someone yelled. "Could be rabid." The dog kept barking, kept clawing, kept insisting that something was wrong with that ordinary piece of luggage. Marcus felt something crack inside him, a memory surfacing Elena at an animal shelter, begging to adopt a 3-legged cat. He'd said no, too busy, too practical. Her voice echoed in his head now. "When did you become the man who looks away?" He stood. His legs moved before his brain caught up. "Sir, step back," the security guard warned as Marcus approached. Marcus knelt beside the dog. Up close, he could see the animal was cleaner than expected, the scar tissue around the missing eye professionally healed. This wasn't some wild stray. This was someone's partner, someone's purpose. The dog stopped barking, looked at Marcus with that single eye, and whimpered, then gently pawed the suitcase. "Whose luggage is this?" Marcus called out. Silence. The gate agent checked her computer. "No one's claimed any abandoned bags." "We'll have it removed and checked," the security guard said, reaching for the dog's collar. The dog growled, then barked again, more frantic now. Marcus's hand went to the suitcase. "What if there's something time-sensitive inside?" "Sir, protocol requires." "I'm opening it." "Mr. Bradford, I can't let you—" Marcus grabbed the emergency cutter from the guard's belt and sliced through the combination lock. Around him, phones rose, recording. The dog sat, silent now, watching. Marcus's hands shook as he gripped the zipper. Second one cut the lock. Seconds 2 through 5, hands trembling. 6 through 10, hesitation. What if it's a bomb? Seconds 11 through 15. The dog whimpered, pawed his knee gently. 16 through 25, he unzipped slowly. And a smell hit him, sweet, chemical, wrong. 26 through 35, opened the lid fully, brain refusing to process. 36 through 42, leaned closer, paralyzed. 43 through 47, recognition, horror. Then 8 months of ice shattering in his chest. Inside was a child, a little girl, maybe 3 or 4, curled in fetal position, skin pale gray, lips blue, hands and feet bound with zip ties, duct tape across her mouth, pink pajamas with cartoon rabbits, chest barely moving shallow, erratic breaths, a silver bracelet on her tiny wrist catching the fluorescent light. One eye slightly open, unfocused, rolling back. Marcus made a sound inhuman, guttural, and lifted the child from the suitcase. So light, too light. He tore the duct tape off gently, cut the zip ties with shaking hands, cradled her against his chest. "Call 911, he screamed. "Call 911 now!" The dog pressed against his leg, whimpering. "I see her," Marcus whispered to the animal. "Thank you. I see her." Then his eyes caught the engraving on the silver bracelet. "Lily, Mommy loves you." The world stopped. He fumbled for his phone, opened Rebecca's email with trembling fingers. Attached photo, a little girl smiling, wearing that same bracelet. Email sent 6 hours ago. Lily was supposed to come home from pre-K today. She never arrived. A man picked her up, said he was family. "But we don't have family. Please help me." He'd almost deleted it. Marcus held Lily, rocking her, his tears falling on her face. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm sorry. Elena, I'm sorry." Sirens approached. The dog sat guard beside them. Security footage would later show a man and a dog creating a shield around a dying child. For the first time since his wife's funeral, Marcus Bradford was crying, and for the first time in 8 months, he was fully, terribly alive. The paramedics arrived in 4 minutes. Led EMT Angela Rodriguez, a 20-year veteran, knelt beside Marcus and immediately began assessing Lily's vitals. Blood pressure 60/40, heart rate 140, thready, oxygen saturation 82%. She pressed her stethoscope to Lily's chest. Body temperature 94.6. She's in shock. "Is she going to die?" Marcus heard himself ask. Rodriguez didn't sugarcoat it. "She has 15 to 20 minutes before permanent brain damage, maybe 30 before death. We need to move now." But there was a problem. Lily's veins had collapsed from severe dehydration. The paramedics couldn't get an IV line in. "We need intraosseous infusion," Rodriguez said, pulling out a drill-like device. "We have to go through the bone." Marcus watched them drill into Lily's tiny shin, and suddenly he was back in Elena's hospital room, watching tubes and needles invade her body, watching her slip away despite everything medicine could offer. "Sir, you need to step back," Rodriguez said. "I'm not leaving her." Marcus's voice was steel. "She's not dying alone." The dog refused to leave too. Security tried to pull him away, but he planted himself beside Marcus and wouldn't budge. "The dog stays," Marcus said, in a tone that ended all discussion. Police arrived as the paramedics worked. Detective Sarah Chen from Crimes Against Children immediately began photographing the suitcase and its contents. She found an empty water bottle, a small yellow blanket embroidered with LH, a chloroform-soaked rag, and a burner phone. She powered on the phone. One text message, sent 2 hours earlier. "Package ready for pickup. Gate D17, leave money in locker 247. Chen turned to Marcus. "You know this child. Her mother was my wife's nurse, Rebecca Hayes." "When did you last see the child?" "Never. I've never met her." Chen's eyes narrowed. "But you opened her mother's emails." Marcus fell silent. "Mr. Bradford, when did you last open Rebecca Hayes's emails?" "I didn't," he whispered. "I never opened them." Chen pulled out her phone and dialed. It rang and rang. Finally, Rebecca's voicemail. "You've reached Rebecca. If this is about Lily, I'm probably at work. Leave a message." Chen started to speak, but Marcus grabbed the phone. "Rebecca, it's Marcus Bradford." His voice cracked. "We found Lily. We're at Miami International, heading to Jackson Memorial. She's alive. Please get there." In the ambulance, Marcus insisted on riding with Lily. He held her tiny hand while Rodriguez worked furiously, saline running through the bone infusion. Oxygen mask secured. "Keep talking to her," Rodriguez said. "Hearing is the last to go. She might hear you." So Marcus talked. He told Lily about Elena, about how kind she was, how she loved children, how she would have adored meeting a little girl like her. The dog lay at Lily's feet, head resting on her legs. Then Marcus opened Rebecca's email, the one from 6 hours ago, and read it aloud. "Dear Mr. Bradford, I'm sorry to bother you again. I know you've been grieving, and Elena told me never to burden you, but I'm desperate. Lily was supposed to come home from pre-K today. She never arrived. The school said a man picked her up, said he was family. But we don't have family. The police won't issue an Amber Alert yet. Not enough time passed. I've called everyone. I don't know what to do. Elena once told me you were the bravest man she knew. She said you fought for her even when she was ready to let go. I need someone to fight for my daughter. If you get this, please help me. Rebecca." Marcus's hands shook so violently he dropped the phone. I saw it, he whispered. 6 hours ago. I almost deleted it. Sir, you couldn't have known? She asked for help. A woman Elena loved asked for help, and I ignored it because I was too busy drowning. Jackson Memorial's emergency entrance loomed ahead, the same hospital where Elena had died. Marcus hadn't been here since that morning 8 months ago. A panic attack hit him as they wheeled Lily through the doors. His chest tightened, vision blurred. The dog pressed against his leg, grounding him. Sir, no animals. A security guard started. The ER charge nurse, who remembered Marcus from Elena's final days, cut him off. Let the dog stay, Tom. Just let it be. They took Lily to the trauma bay. Marcus wasn't allowed further. He collapsed into a waiting room chair, the same seat he'd occupied during Elena's last night. Rogue sat beside him. At 12:47 a.m., Rebecca burst through the ER doors. Still in scrubs from her hospice shift, hair wild, makeup smeared, one shoe missing, kicked off while running from her car, she saw Marcus and froze. 8 months of silence stretched between them. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. Then her knees buckled. Marcus caught her before she hit the floor. She beat her fists against his chest. Where is she? Where's my baby? Did you find her? Is she alive? Please, please, please. She's alive, Marcus said. She's fighting. The dog found her. He wouldn't let anyone ignore her. Rebecca turned, saw Rogue, and fell to her knees. She hugged the dog, sobbing into his fur. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They sat side by side, not touching, but together. Rogue between them. The clock ticking. No word from the trauma bay. After 30 minutes of silence, Marcus spoke. I saw your email. Rebecca said nothing. 6 hours ago, I almost deleted it. If the dog hadn't... His voice broke. You found her, Rebecca said quietly. That's what matters. Elena would be ashamed of who I've become. Elena would forgive you. She always did. Detective Chen approached, her face grave. Ms. Hayes, I need to ask you something difficult. Anything. Do you know David Bradford? Marcus's brother. I met him once, at Elena's funeral. Why? Chen paused. His fingerprints are on the suitcase. The words hung in the air like poison. Marcus stood, blood draining from his face. What did you just say? David Bradford's prints are all over the suitcase. The tape, the phone. Mr. Bradford? Chen looked at him with something like pity. Your brother took this child? Marcus shook his head violently. No, no, you're wrong. Detective Chen pulled out her iPad, displaying security footage. We found his car on airport surveillance. Parking lot B, arrived at 9:15 p.m. David wouldn't... He's my brother. He's weak. He's broken. But he wouldn't hurt a child. When did you last speak to your brother? Marcus's mind raced. Elena's funeral. 8 months ago. He asked for money. Did you give it to him? No. I couldn't... How much did he ask for? 350,000. Said it was life or death. Chen swiped through the footage. 4:47 p.m. David's car enters airport parking. 5:12 p.m. David carries the suitcase walking normally, not struggling with weight. 5:18 p.m. places suitcase near gate D17. 5:19 p.m. makes a phone call. 5:21 p.m. walks to bathroom. The suitcase sits untouched until 11:39 p.m. when David returns. Marcus felt sick. 6.5 hours. She was in there for 6.5 hours. 11:43 p.m. Your dog appears and attacks the suitcase. 11:45 p.m. David sees the dog, panics, runs. 11:47 p.m. You intervene. What was the ransom? Marcus's voice was barely audible. Chen hesitated. Mr. Bradford, what was the ransom? 500,000. Locker 247 was empty. He was coming back for the money. Rebecca spoke, her voice hollow. He was going to leave her there even after he got paid. Chen's silence confirmed it. Marcus stumbled to a trash can and vomited. Rogue followed, sitting beside him as he heaved. Why us? Marcus asked when he could speak again. Why Rebecca? Why Lily? David met you at the funeral, Rebecca said slowly. He knew Elena loved me. He knew you would. That I might care, Marcus finished. That even in my grief, I might care about Elena's favorite nurse and her daughter. He was counting on your guilt, Mr. Bradford, Chen said. Counting on you feeling responsible for this family because your wife did. He was right. Marcus's voice was dead. I do feel responsible. I am responsible. At 1:15 a.m., a doctor emerged. Rebecca jumped up. My baby. Doctor Patricia Williams, pediatric intensivist, looked exhausted. She's stable. Critical, but stable. What does that mean? Rebecca's voice trembled. She was sedated with veterinary-grade ketamine normally used on animals. She's severely dehydrated, lost about 10% of her body weight. The hypoxia caused minor brain swelling, which we're treating. Her body temperature dropped to 94 degrees, now up to 96.8. No broken bones. Dr. Williams paused. No signs of sexual assault. Rebecca's knees buckled with relief. If she survives the next 48 hours, we expect a full recovery. Can I see her? Pediatric ICU, room 412. 2 visitors at a time. Rebecca looked at Marcus. Come with me. I can't. I don't deserve. She's alive because of you. Come. In the PICU. Lily looked impossibly small in the adult-sized bed. Tubes everywhere, ventilator, IVs, monitors, warming blanket. Rebecca took her daughter's hand and began singing the same hymn she'd sung to Elena. Marcus stood frozen in the doorway, unable to enter. Memories of Elena's room crashed over him, same tubes, same machines, same helpless vigil. A nurse came in, recognized him. Mr. Bradford, I was Elena's night nurse those last weeks. She talked about you constantly, said you needed a reason to keep going. Marcus couldn't speak. Maybe this is your reason, the nurse said gently. At 2 a.m., Rebecca began talking to unconscious Lily. Marcus listened from his chair on the other side of the bed. Baby girl, remember when we planted those sunflowers? You said they looked like the sun got tired and decided to be a flower instead. Your daddy would have loved to see them bloom. He sent me a letter before he died. Said if anything happened to him, I should teach you to be brave. Marcus finally entered the room and sat down. Mrs. Elena said the same thing. Rebecca continued. Before she passed, she made me promise to teach you about kindness. She asked about Elena last week. Rebecca told Marcus. Wanted to know where angels live. What did you tell her? That they live in the people who remember them. That as long as we tell stories about them, they never really leave. At 2:45, Detective Chen returned with an update. They'd found David's apartment. The walls were covered in photos of Marcus news articles, Forbes covers, charity galas. One photo showed young David and Marcus with their arms around each other, smiling. Caption in David's handwriting, before you became someone I couldn't reach. They'd also found David's journal. Chen read excerpts aloud. Marcus got everything. The brains, the success, the perfect wife. I got the addiction gene and the ability to disappoint everyone. He doesn't even know how much I needed him. After Sarah left with the kids, I called him 17 times. He never called back. Not his fault, I guess. He was watching Elena die. But where was he when I was dying? Chen continued. Maybe if I had something he wanted. Maybe if I created a problem only he could solve. Maybe then he'd see me again. Not to hurt the kid. Just scare them. Just make him need me. Make him see me. Marcus sat silent for a full minute. I knew he was spiraling, he finally said. I knew, and I looked away because I was drowning and I didn't have the energy to save anyone else. You can't save everyone, Rebecca said. Elena did. She saved everyone. Every patient, every nurse, every person she met. She would have saved David. She would have saved me too. At 3:30, Chen's phone rang. We have him. Found at a motel in Homestead. Not resisting. I want to see him, Marcus said. Not advisable. He's my brother. I'm seeing him. Rebecca touched his arm. Go. I'll stay with Lily. Marcus, bring him back. Not for David. For you. In Detective Chen's car, Marcus stared out at pre-dawn Miami. Rogue sat in the back seat, refusing to leave Marcus's side. You know this isn't your fault. Right, Chen said. Isn't it I had a brother who was drowning? I had a woman and child Elena loved who needed help. I ignored them all because grief was easier than living. Grief isn't a choice. No, but ignoring it is. Elena knew. That's why she wrote those letters. She knew I'd try to die with her. The letters. She left me 12. One for each month after her death. I've only opened 8. Couldn't face the rest. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's too late. The kid's alive. Your brother's alive. You're alive. Seems like it's exactly the right time. Marcus pulled out his phone and stared at the unopened emails from Elena. Letters 9 through 12. Still waiting. Maybe, he whispered. The police station loomed ahead. Inside, his brother waited the man who'd kidnapped an innocent child because he was desperate to be seen. And Marcus, for the first time in 8 months, was ready to see him. Marcus stood behind one-way glass, watching his brother before David could see him. The man in the interrogation room looked like a corpse. Gaunt, hollow-eyed, hands trembling, wearing the same clothes from Elena's funeral 8 months ago. Beard grown wild, hair matted. When had he become a ghost, too? Detective Chen stood beside Marcus. You have 15 minutes. Marcus entered alone. Rogue waited outside with Chen. The door closed with a metallic click. Brothers faced each other across a metal table. 43 seconds of silence. David spoke first. Is she alive? Why? Marcus's voice was ice. Is she alive? Why do you care? You left her in a suitcase to die. David flinched. I was coming back. I was going to get the money and let her go. There was no money. Marcus slammed his fist on the table. I never saw the demand. You were going to leave her there all night. David stood, chair scraping. Marcus didn't move. You think I wanted this? David's voice cracked. You think I wanted to become this? You chose this. Every drink, every bet, every... Just like you chose to ignore me. The words hung between them. 17 calls. Marcus. 17 times I begged you to talk to me. About Sarah leaving. About the kids. About how I couldn't stop and I didn't want to die, but I didn't know how to live. I was watching Elena die. And I was dying too. David's voice broke. But you didn't see me because you only see people when they're already dead. David collapsed back into his chair, tears streaming. You know what it's like being your brother, being the broken copy of the golden original. Dad died praising you. Marcus will save the company. Marcus will save everyone. What about me? You had every opportunity I had. No, I had every expectation you had. Different thing. I failed the MCAT because I was high. Failed law school because I was drunk. Failed my marriage because I was betting our mortgage. And through it all, where were you building your empire, playing hero, saving everyone but your own brother? Marcus stood, leaned over the table, voice low and dangerous. You want to know where I was trying to save my wife. I spent 17 months watching the only person I ever loved rot from the inside, watching her lose her hair, her weight, her hope. I spent $4.7 million on treatments that did nothing but buy her 3 extra weeks of agony. I held her hand while she begged me to let her go, begged me to stop fighting. And you want sympathy because I didn't answer your calls. David was crying openly now. I didn't want sympathy. I wanted my brother, the Marcus who used to bail me out of trouble, who taught me to ride a bike, who held me when Dad died. When did you become someone who only saves people when cameras are watching? The accusation struck deep. Marcus fell silent. I didn't want to hurt the kid, David whispered. I swear to God. Marcus, I just needed you to see me, to need me for something, to remember I exist. So you kidnapped a 4-year-old, drugged her, left her to suffocate. I didn't think I wasn't thinking. That's the fucking problem. David, you never think, you just destroy and expect me to clean it up. Detective Chen entered, placed David's journal on the table. Read page 47, Mr. Bradford. Marcus opened it, read David's handwriting. April 15th, 3 months since Elena died. Called Marcus today. No answer. Tried to tell him about my plan to get clean. Found a facility in Tampa. Just needed $5,000 for deposit. He called back 3 hours later. Voicemail. David, I can't do this right now. Whatever you need. The answer is no. He didn't even let me speak. I flushed my 60-day chip that night. What's the point if your own brother thinks you're not worth saving? Maybe you're not. Maybe I should show him what real desperation looks like. Maybe then he'd see. Marcus's hands shook. I don't remember that call. Everything was... You were drunk, David said. I could hear it in your voice. Welcome to my world, brother. Marcus sat back down, head in his hands. You're right. What? You're right. I became someone who looks away, someone who drowns in his own pain and forgets other people are drowning too. Elena saw it happening. That's why she wrote those letters. She knew I'd become this. What letters? She left me 12 letters. Instructions on how to live after she died. I've only opened 8 because I'm a coward. David leaned forward. What did they say? Letter number 8 said, Find David. He needs you more than he'll ever say. He's your brother. He's your blood. He's your responsibility. Don't let him disappear just because I did. David's face crumpled. I read that letter 2 months ago. Marcus continued. I threw it away, poured another drink, told myself you'd be fine. And you weren't fine. You got so desperate that you kidnapped a child whose mother cared for my wife with more compassion than I've shown anyone in 8 months. A child who almost died because I'm too broken to be human anymore. I'm sorry, David sobbed. God, Marcus, I'm so sorry. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to that little girl when she wakes up. If she wakes up, apologize to her mother, who trusted me enough to ask for help and I ignored her. Apologize to Elena's memory because you did this in her name and she would hate both of us for what we've become. Long silence filled the room. What happens now? David finally asked. You go to prison. For a long time. Will you visit? Marcus paused. I don't know. Fair. Marcus stood to leave. Marcus. He stopped. The dog, the one that found her. That was divine intervention or something. Like the universe said enough. The universe doesn't give a shit about us. David, we have to give a shit about each other. That's what I forgot. That's what you forgot. That's what almost killed an innocent child. Marcus left the interrogation room and slid down the hallway wall. Rogue approached, pressed against his legs. Marcus sat on the floor, and Rogue laid his head in his lap. You okay? Detective Chen asked. No, but maybe that's okay. The kid's awake. Ms. Hayes called. Lily's asking for her mommy. In the car heading back to the hospital, Marcus pulled out his phone. Sun rising over Miami, first sunrise he'd watched in months. He opened Elena's letter number 9. My darling Marcus, if you're reading this, 9 months have passed. I hope you're healing. I hope you're living. By now you've probably met Rebecca and Lily a few times. I asked Rebecca to check on you. I hope you let her. Marcus, that little girl doesn't have a father. You don't have the child we couldn't have. I'm not saying replace anything. I'm saying there's room in a broken heart for new love. You taught me that when you loved me through cancer, through fear, through death itself. Don't let my death be the thing that kills your ability to love. Some families are chosen. Some healing happens through helping others heal. Find David. Help Rebecca. Love that little girl like she's your own. Or don't. But whatever you choose life. You're Elena. Marcus cried silently. Good news, Chen asked. My wife telling me to stop being an asshole from beyond the grave. Smart woman. The smartest. She saw everything I'd become and still believed I could be better. Rogue whimpered, licked his hand. What do you think? Boy, can I be better? Rogue's tail wagged once. Okay then. Let's try. Marcus arrived back at the hospital at 6 a.m. He found Rebecca still singing beside Lily's bed, but something was wrong. Lily's eyes were open. Tubes still ran everywhere. Ventilator removed. Vitals stable. But the child stared at nothing. No recognition. No response. Rebecca saw Marcus, her face wet with fresh tears. She won't speak. Won't look at me. Won't anything. At 6:15, Dr. Williams returned with a pediatric psychiatrist, Dr. James Morrison. He examined Lily carefully, then turned to Rebecca with a grave expression. Traumatic selective mutism, not uncommon in children who experience severe trauma. Will she get better? Rebecca's voice barely held together. Physically, yes. Psychologically, time will tell. Her brain is protecting itself, shutting down non-essential communication. May last days, weeks, months. Some children never fully recover their speech. Rebecca collapsed into the chair. I saved other people's children and couldn't save my own. Marcus sat beside her. This isn't your fault. I should have picked her up from school myself. I should have answered your emails. I should have helped when you asked. We can't both carry this guilt. Maybe we have to, Marcus said quietly. Maybe that's what makes us human. Lily continued staring at the ceiling, silent and unreachable. At 7:30, the TV in the waiting room blared breaking news. Billionaire CEO Marcus Bradford involved in child kidnapping case. Bradford's own brother, David Bradford, arrested for kidnapping 4-year-old Lily Hayes. Marcus's corporate headshot appeared on screen, side by side with David's mugshot. The reporter continued. Questions are being raised about why Marcus Bradford ignored multiple pleas for help from the child's mother. Marcus watched. Numb, hospital security approached. Mr. Bradford, media is gathering outside. We can escort you out the back. No, I'm not leaving. At 8 a.m., his phone rang. Patricia Chen, his CFO. Marcus, emergency board meeting called. They're voting on your removal. What? The publicity. Your brother. The kidnapping. They say it's a liability. Say you're mentally unfit after Elena's death. Vote is in 2 hours. You need to call in. Defend yourself. Marcus looked at Lily, at Rebecca. Tell them I vote to remove myself, effective immediately. Marcus, this is your company. You built this. And it doesn't matter. None of it matters. He hung up. Rebecca had overheard. You just gave up your company. It's just money, just power. Just nothing compared to this. Elena said you'd burn the world down for the people you love. I didn't understand until now. I don't love Lily. I don't even know her. But you love who Elena wanted you to be. And that person doesn't leave. Lily made her first sound since waking, a small whimper. Both rushed to her bedside. She was staring at Rogue outside the window, being held back by security. "She wants the dog," Marcus said. "They won't allow. I don't care what they allow." Marcus confronted the hospital administrator in the hallway. "That dog saved her life. She wants to see him." "Mr. Bradford, we have protocols. I'll donate $5 million to your pediatric wing. Right now, one condition: the dog comes in." The administrator paused. "I'll need that in writing." Marcus wrote a check and handed it over. "Get the dog." 10 minutes later, Rogue was led into the room. The dog went straight to Lily's bed, gentle as a butterfly. He laid his head on her lap. Lily's hand moved, first voluntary movement since waking. She touched the dog's scarred eye socket. "Hurts," she whispered. Rebecca started crying. "Yes, baby, it hurt him. But he's okay now." "Me too." "Yes, baby, you too." Marcus stepped into the hallway, emotions overwhelming him. He slid down the wall as a panic attack hit full force. 8 months of suppressed grief exploding, hyperventilating, chest pain, vision blurring. A nurse rushed over. "Sir, are you having a heart attack?" "I'm having everything. Everything I didn't feel. Everything I ran from. I need you to breathe with me. I can't. I can't do this. I can't save anyone. I couldn't save Elena. I couldn't save David. I almost didn't save Lily." The nurse gripped his shoulders firmly. "But you did save Lily. She's alive. You're alive. Breathe." At 10 a.m., Marcus sat in an ER exam room. They'd insisted on checking him. EKG came back normal, not a heart attack, just a panic attack. The doctor reviewed his chart. "Mr. Bradford, you're physically healthy. Emotionally, you're in crisis. Have you considered inpatient psychiatric care? I have a standing appointment with a therapist. I sit in silence for 50 minutes a week. Maybe it's time to start talking." Marcus looked at his hands. "My wife died 8 months ago. I've been trying to die with her ever since. Today I realized I can't die. Too many people need me alive. Is that enough reason to keep living? Obligation. It's a start. Love comes later." By 10:30, the media storm outside had grown. Reporters, cameras, protesters. Some held signs: "Hero billionaire saves child." Others: "Rich man ignores pleas. Child nearly dies." Police set up barricades. Rebecca watched from the window. "They're going to destroy you." Marcus stood beside her. "Let them. I've been destroying myself for 8 months. At least this is honest." "What will you do? No company. No reputation." "I have 4 unread letters from my dead wife. I have a broken brother in jail. I have a traumatized little girl who might never speak again." He looked at Rogue, who sat between them. "And I have a one-eyed dog who's better at being human than I've been. I think that's enough to start with." Rebecca studied his face. "You mean that?" "For the first time in 8 months, I actually do." Below them, camera flashes erupted. Above them, Lily whispered her second word to Rogue: "Stay." And Marcus realized that was exactly what he needed to do. Stop running, stop hiding, stop dying, just stay. At 10:30, Marcus made a phone call. His assistant answered immediately. "Bring me the box. From the mantel. The wooden one." "Mr. Bradford, are you sure?" "Bring Elena's letters. All of them. Now." Rebecca looked at him. "What are you doing?" "Something I should have done 8 months ago. I'm listening to my wife." His assistant arrived at 11:15 carrying the rosewood box that had belonged to Elena's grandmother. She handed it to Marcus with tears in her eyes. "She'd be proud of you today." Marcus went to the hospital chapel, alone. Inside the box were 4 remaining letters, numbers 10, 11, 12, and one marked, When you're ready to live again. His hands shook as he held them. He opened letter 10 first. Marcus, 10 months, double digits. I bet you thought you'd be better by now. You're not. Are you? That's okay. Grief isn't linear. Some days you'll think you're healing. Some days you'll fall apart in grocery store aisles because you see my favorite cereal. Here's what I need you to know. David is in trouble. I could see it at my funeral, yes. I planned my funeral, and yes, I saw his face. He's not just grieving me. He's grieving the brother he's losing. You're both drowning, just in different oceans. Marcus, you have to reach him before he does something desperate. I know you think you can't save everyone, but you can save your brother. You're the only one who can. Please don't let my death break your family apart. Love, Elena, P.S. If you're reading this and David has already done something terrible, forgive him. Forgiveness isn't for him. It's for you. Marcus dropped the letter. She knew. 3 months ago. She'd warned him. He never opened it. He picked up letter 11 with trembling fingers. Darling, 11 months. You're so close to a year. I'm so proud of you for surviving this long. By now you've met Lily properly, right? You've helped Rebecca. If you haven't, what the hell are you doing? Stop being stubborn and help them. I have a confession. I didn't just love Rebecca as my nurse. I loved her as the daughter we never had. And Lily. That child is pure light. Marcus. Her laugh could heal wounds. You know what I realized in my final days? Family isn't just blood. It's who shows up when you're dying. Rebecca showed up. She bathed me when I couldn't. She sang to me when I was scared. She held my hand when you couldn't bear to look at what I'd become. She became my family, which makes Lily your family too. I'm not asking you to replace the children we couldn't have. I'm asking you to love the child we could have saved together if I'd lived. Be the father that little girl deserves. Be the man I married who believes in second chances. Love, your Elena, P.S. Rebecca doesn't know I wrote this. Don't make it weird. Just be there. Marcus understood now. Elena had orchestrated everything. The emails Rebecca sent weren't just desperation. Elena had made her promise to reach out, made her promise to pull Marcus back to life. She'd used love as a lifeline even from the grave. Letter 12 felt heavier than the others. My love, 1 year, you did it. You survived a year without me. I bet it feels like dying slowly, doesn't it? I'm so sorry. Here's what I need you to understand. You are not meant to survive alone. You've spent 365 days punishing yourself for not saving me, for every treatment that failed, for every prayer unanswered. But Marcus, I didn't need saving from death. I needed saving from dying without love, and you gave me that. Every single day, you loved me, even when I was bald and vomiting, even when I couldn't remember your name, even when I begged you to let me go. You loved me through it all. That's not failure. That's the most successful love story I've ever known. Now you need to love yourself that way. Messy, imperfect, through the ugly parts. Find David. Save him if you can. Forgive him if you can't. Love Rebecca and Lily, not as replacements, as additions. Get a dog. I always wanted a dog. You always said no because of work. Well, screw work. Get a dog. Live, Marcus. Not for me. For you. Because the man I married deserves happiness. Even if I'm not here to give it to him. You're always Elena, P.S. There's one more letter. Don't open it until you're ready to let me go. Marcus cried openly in the empty chapel. Elena's voice was so clear in his head. Get a dog. Rogue finding Lily wasn't coincidence. It was Elena's final gift. He stared at the last letter for 20 minutes. Rebecca appeared in the chapel doorway. Marcus, Lily's asking for you. She doesn't know me. She knows you saved her. That's enough. Marcus held up the final letter. I'm afraid. Of what? That if I read this, she's really gone. The letters were the last piece of her. After this, there's nothing. Rebecca sat beside him. That's not true. You have me. You have Lily. You have memories. It's not enough. It has to be, because she's not coming back. Marcus, no matter how long you hold on to that letter, I'm not ready. Then don't read it. But come meet the little girl you saved. She needs you. In Lily's room, the child sat with Rogue. She looked up as Marcus entered, eyes wide and curious. Lily, this is Marcus. He's the one who found you. Lily's voice was soft. You opened the box. Marcus knelt to her level. Yes, the suitcase. I opened it. It was dark. I know. I'm so sorry it was dark. The doggy found me. Yes. His name is Rogue. He's a very good boy. Lily touched the dog's missing eye. Did someone put him in a box too? Marcus's throat tightened. Something like that. But he's safe now. You're both safe. Are you my mommy's friend? I'd like to be. Mrs. Elena was my mommy's friend. She died. Marcus was shocked Rebecca had told her. Yes, she was my wife. Are you sad? Every day? Me too. I'm sad the man put me in the box. I know, but you're out now. And you're never going back in any box. I promise. Lily paused, studying him. Can the doggy stay with me? As long as you want. Forever. Marcus looked at Rebecca, who nodded. Forever. Lily smiled small, but genuine. At 1 p.m., Detective Chen arrived with an envelope. David asked me to give you this. Against my better judgment. Marcus opened it, read David's shaky handwriting. Marcus, I don't deserve your forgiveness. I don't even deserve your hatred. I deserve nothing. But I need you to know I never wanted to hurt her. I wanted to hurt you. I wanted you to feel as helpless as I've felt. That makes me a monster. I know. I've had 6 hours in this cell to realize something. You're not the reason I failed. I am. You didn't ignore me because you didn't care. You ignored me because you were drowning too. We both learned the same thing from Dad's death, that we're on our own. You dealt with it by saving everyone. I dealt with it by destroying everything. Mom used to say we were two sides of the same coin. I never understood until now. The kid asked if you're sad. I heard through the police report. She's 4, and she already knows what you couldn't admit. You're sad. I'm sad. We're both sad. Broken men who forgot we had each other. I'm going to prison. I deserve worse. But Marcus, don't let me take you down too. Don't let my failure destroy the second chance that little girl is giving you. Be the man Elena wanted you to be. Be the brother I needed and couldn't ask for. Live. Please. One of us should. David. P.S. Name the dog Rogue. It fits. We're all just rogues trying to find our way home. Marcus folded the letter, put it in his pocket with Elena's. What did he say? Rebecca asked. That we're both broken. That we both need to heal. That it might be too late for him, but not for me. Do you believe him? I don't know what I believe anymore, except that Elena was right. About everything. At 1:30, Marcus locked himself in the bathroom. He opened the envelope marked, "When you're ready to live again." Inside was a single page. You opened it. That means you're ready. I'm so proud of you. This isn't goodbye. This is permission. Permission to love again. To laugh again. To live without guilt. I'm not in these letters. Marcus. I'm in every sunset you watch. Every act of kindness you show. Every moment you choose life over death. You don't need my letters to remember me. You need to make new memories to honor me. So here's my final request. Let me go, not from your heart, but from your guilt. I died loved. I died at peace. I died grateful. Now you get to live the same way. Go out there. Be a father to Lily. Be a brother to David. Be a friend to Rebecca. Be a human to that dog. Be the Marcus I fell in love with when we were 16 and you told me you'd change the world. You did, baby. You changed my world every single day. Now go change theirs. I love you. I release you. I'm at peace. Be at peace too, forever and always. Your Elena. Marcus sat on the bathroom floor, crying. But this time it was different. Not just grief, acceptance, release. The first step toward healing. He returned to Lily's room. Rebecca, Lily, and Rogue were waiting. You were gone long, Lily said. I was saying goodbye to someone. Mrs. Elena. Yes. How did you know? Mommy says when we cry, we're saying goodbye. Are you done crying? Marcus knelt beside her. No, but I'm done running away from people who need me. Do I need you? I don't know. Do you? Lily thought, then nodded. The doggy picked you. Doggies are smart. Marcus laughed, first real laugh in months. Yes, they are. 3 months later, Marcus woke at 6 a.m. in his penthouse bedroom, Elena's bedroom. He'd finally unlocked the door. Rogue had claimed it first night, sleeping at the foot of the bed like a guardian. Marcus made coffee and watched the sunrise. A daily ritual now. His phone buzzed therapist's office confirming his appointment. He actually talked now during those 50 minutes. Hard, painful truth. The Bradford Foundation operated from a small office in Coconut Grove. No corporate tower, no executive suite. The sign on the door read, Bradford Foundation, Second Chances for Broken Families. 5 staff members dedicated to helping families affected by addiction and trauma. Rebecca Hayes served as co-founder, working part-time while continuing her nursing. Every month, Marcus drove to Miami-Dade Corrections. Rogue came too, approved as a therapy animal. Today, he sat across from David. Same glass partition, same phone. You came, David said. I'll come every month. That's my promise. I don't deserve it. None of us deserve second chances. We get them anyway. They actually talked for a full hour, about childhood, about their father, about failures and fears. David was in the prison's treatment program, rehab, therapy, education. 13 years remained on his sentence. When you get out, you have a job. Marcus said. At the foundation? David cried. Why? Because someone gave me a second chance. Seems fair to pass it on. That afternoon, Marcus picked up Lily from pre-kindergarten. He was her emergency contact now, her unofficial uncle. She ran to him, pigtails bouncing. Marcus, I painted a dog. She showed him artwork, a one-eyed dog in rainbow colors. It's beautiful. Should we hang it in the office? And at home, the word hung between them. Marcus and Rebecca's eyes met over Lily's head. Home, neither had defined what that meant yet. That evening, Marcus hosted dinner at his penthouse. First time since Elena's death. Rebecca and Lily came over. Marcus had attempted cooking. The results were questionable. It's yucky, but I love it, Lily announced. Lily, manners, Rebecca laughed. Mommy says always tell the truth. Marcus grinned. Smart mommy. It is yucky. Pizza. Yes. While waiting for delivery, they sat on the balcony. Lily played with Rogue. Rebecca and Marcus watched the sunset together. You've changed, Rebecca said softly. I hope so. The old Marcus was a disaster. The old Marcus saved lives with medicine. The new Marcus saves lives with presence. Elena would say I'm still figuring it out. Elena would say, "You're doing perfectly." Silence settled between them, comfortable now. I opened all the letters. "Finally," Marcus said. "And she told me to love you. And Lily, she was very specific about it." Rebecca turned, surprised. "What? Not romantic love, not replacement love, just love, the way family loves. Is that what we are, family? I don't know what we are, but Lily calls this home, and Rogue won't leave your side when you're here, and I feel less like dying when you're around. So maybe," Rebecca smiled, "maybe is a good start." Lily interrupted them. "Are you my daddy now?" Both adults froze. Marcus chose his words carefully. Lily, you have a daddy. He was a hero, but he's in heaven with Mrs. Elena." "Yes. So can you be my earth daddy, and he's my heaven daddy?" Rebecca was crying silently. Marcus knelt. "I would be honored to be your earth daddy, if your mommy says it's okay." "Mommy." Rebecca could barely speak. "Yes, baby, it's okay." Lily hugged Marcus first time. He held her, looking at Rebecca over the child's head. They were both crying. The following week, they attended a custody hearing. Marcus petitioned to be Lily's legal guardian alongside Rebecca. The judge reviewed the paperwork. "Mr. Bradford, you have no biological relation to this child, no legal standing. Why should I grant this?" Marcus spoke from his heart. "Because she asked me to be her earth daddy. Because her mother trusts me. Because a one-eyed dog decided I was worth saving 3 months ago. And because the woman I love told me to stop wasting my life and start living for people who need me. This little girl needs me. And honestly, Your Honor, I need her more." Petition granted. Joint custody awarded. Lily whispered from Rebecca's lap. "Is Marcus my daddy now?" The judge overheard, smiled. "Yes, young lady, he's your daddy now." "Good. He needs practice. He can't cook." The courtroom erupted in laughter. Life settled into new rhythms. Marcus teaching Lily to ride a bike, falling and laughing and trying again. Rebecca and Marcus working side by side at the foundation. Sunday dinners becoming tradition. Marcus slowly improving in the kitchen. Monthly visits to David, bringing photos of Lily's school events. Rogue certified as a therapy dog. Visiting children's hospitals. Marcus speaking at trauma survivors conferences. Their first Christmas together. Marcus opened Lily's gift, a drawing of their family. Rebecca, Lily, Marcus, Rogue and Angel Elena watching from a cloud above them. 1 year after that terrible night, they returned to Gate D17. Marcus had arranged a ceremony. 200 people attended, trafficking survivors, rescued children, families the foundation had helped. A bronze statue stood covered by a curtain. The plaque read, "Where one-eyed justice saw what everyone else missed." Lily pulled the curtain. "Look, Rogue, it's you!" The crowd applauded. Rogue barked once, tail wagging. Marcus stepped forward to speak. 1 year ago, I stood in this terminal, a dead man walking. I'd lost my wife. I'd abandoned my brother. I'd ignored a mother's plea for help. I was waiting for a flight that would take me further from life, further from hope. Then a dog with one eye saw something everyone else missed, a little girl dying in a suitcase. And he refused to let anyone ignore her. He barked, he clawed, he fought, he saved her life. But really, he saved 3 lives that night. He saved Lily. He saved me. And in a strange way, he saved my brother by forcing us all to face what we'd become. They say dogs are man's best friend, but Rogue was more than that. He was a prophet, a messenger. He taught me that sometimes the most broken among us see the clearest, that sometimes the outcasts are the real heroes, and that love, real love, looks like a one-eyed dog refusing to give up when everyone else already had. People took photos with the statue. Marcus stepped away, sat on the same bench where everything began. Rebecca joined him, Lily between them, Rogue at their feet. "You did good," Rebecca said. "We did good. All of us." Is Mrs. Elena happy? Lily asked. Marcus looked up. Yes, sweetheart. She's very happy. Good, because I'm happy too. Me too. Lily, me too. They walked out together into the Sunrise family of 4+ dog. Behind them, the statue caught first light. On the pedestal, Elena's words gleamed, "Be the reason someone believes in second chances." Marcus realized the truth. A stray dog had barked at a suitcase, and everything changed. His wife's death hadn't killed him, it broke him open. His brother's crime didn't destroy their family, it forced them to rebuild. A little girl's trauma didn't end her story, it began theirs. They weren't perfect, but they were here, together, choosing life every single day. And sometimes that's all healing requires, the courage to hear the bark. Open the suitcase and save someone, even if it's just yourself. Marcus learned what Elena knew all along. We don't heal from grief by dying with the people we've lost. We heal by living for those who still need us. The Foundation's motto became Elena's final words, "Be the reason someone believes in second chances." Because that's what Rogue gave Marcus a second chance to see, to act, to save someone when it mattered most. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's a hospice nurse who sang hymns to your dying wife. Sometimes it's her fatherless daughter who calls you Earth Daddy. Sometimes it's a brother in prison you visit every month despite everything. Sometimes it's a one-eyed dog who refused to let the world ignore an innocent life. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it transforms it into purpose. Marcus was grateful for the dog that barked, for the child who lived, for the wife who left letters, for the second chance to become the man Elena always believed he could be. Sometimes salvation comes from the most broken messengers. Sometimes the outcasts see what everyone else misses. We want to hear from you. Have you ever ignored a cry for help and later regretted it, or has someone refused to give up on you when you'd given up on yourself? Share your story below.